Good afternoon. Welcome to Jim Munley's World of Weather. Clicked on to long-range weather forecast discussion for April 27th to May 11th. So before I get to the forecast, we're going to talk about, we have some severe weather. We have a couple of thunderstorm warnings in effect in Texas for Falls Hill, Limestone, McLean, and San Saba. And we have a flood warning here in effect for Navarro, Hood, Johnson, and we have some heavy rain that's occurring here, and that'll continue. I want to talk about this system for. We're going to go to talk about this system first that's going on. Okay. Okay. Go to the surface. Okay. We're going to go back here. This is the system that we're talking about. We're going to go back here to tonight. This system developing here will have a moist inflow, and this will cause heavy rain and thunderstorms across this region here. Now, in addition, there could be snow here across the Rockies, heavy snow, as winter continues. And hold on a second, I got to check something. And there will be some heavy rain and snow across much of the northern Rockies. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the rainfall that is forecast here in this region. We're going to go to 8 p.m. tonight. This is 24-hour periods, close to an inch here, a little more than half an inch here. Then we go to 8 a.m. on Friday. Still heavy rain, another inch here. Heavy rain across this area, almost an inch every day of rainfall. And that could cause a threat for heavy rain and flooding across this region. Next thing we want to look at is the thunderstorm potential. We're going to look at the amount of energy in the atmosphere for these storms. This is for 8 p.m. tonight. You can see there's a lot of energy there. Then we go again, it kind of weighs down in the morning, then kind of like picks up again across Texas as we go into Saturday into Sunday. And then it really gets going here Sunday as the developing storm system in the plains will interact with a favorable atmosphere with wind shear, steep lap rates, and unidirectional winds. That'll cause a probability of strong and severe storms, and we'll talk about that. Okay, we're going to get back to the forecast now. This is for for April 27th to May 1st, and what we have here is we have a ridge in the west, trough in the Rockies, you can see right here, and then we also have a ridge over the eastern states. But that trough will move eastward, and that will eventually lead to a trough in the east. You can see it right here, started to build in there across that area. And so push the trough, I said, eastward. Okay, at the surface again, we have a system here on Monday that'll be exiting the northeast with some wraparound precipitation, possible snow in the highest elevations in northern New England. A trough will move into the northwest. You can see it here on the surface. And this will bring widespread moderate precipitation with snow in the highest elevation of Cascades. You can see it there down into the Sierras, inland to the central and northern Rockies this weekend. And we're centered here on late Sunday night. Then we get to that low pressure system that will be developing in the plains. And that could enhance the precipitation, the moist flow ahead of the upper trough and developing storm. The trough is like right here in this area here. Will cause rains and strong to severe thunderstorms that will spread in the central and eastern states. Later in the midweek period, we'll go here. And here you can see here's our rain and storms moving in to the eastern states. Okay, we're going to look at the period now for May 2nd to the 6th. And you can see here the models are all over the place, where you look at the GFS, ridge, trough configuration. You look at its ensembles, flatter float above normal heights. You look at the European. The European is in good agreement with the GFS until later in the period, because there still has a ridge trough configuration, but then later in the period, it brings in an upper low into the southwest, and we still have a trough here in the east. And the European ensembles is somewhat in agreement with the European operational run, but it seems to be weaker. So for this forecast period, I am calling for above normal temperatures for the country, and I'm calling for anomalies to be 8 degrees or more above normal. I'm sorry for using the same maps, but it hasn't really changed all that much. And for precipitation, calling for below normal precipitation here. And for this region, probability of occurrence is 35%. Above normal precipitation here, probability of occurrence is about 35%. Now we're going to look at the period for May 7th to the 11th. And all in all, the model's in better agreement, except for here the GFS to some extent. But for the most part, expected trough is trough configuration, where the European is a little bit stronger with this upper low, bringing with the ridge here in the west, troughing in the east. So for this forecast period, I am calling for below normal temperatures here with anomalies near 4 degrees below normal, above normal temperatures here with anomalies of 8 degrees or more above normal across the upper Mississippi Valley. And for precipitation, here's a different map, calling for below normal precipitation here. And for this region, probability of occurrence is up to 40%. Above normal precipitation here, probability of occurrence is 35%. We're going to take a look back at the storms. We still have our same severe thunderstorm warnings in effect, flood warning here with heavy rainfall amounts. We're going to take a look now at the drought monitor that was just updated today. And there's not much change. We have moderate to extreme drought parts of the Southwest and parts of Texas. Still not much change here in New Jersey, where they've been having the fires. Found out today that it was set. It was wood pilings or something. A bonfire was made and was left burning, and it wasn't distinguished properly. And but we're supposed to get some rain in here to help, but still there's not much of a change. And I'll just go over the summary here. Last week, heavy rain again fell across parts of the nation mid-section, along with strong quasi-stationary front. A swath of heavy amounts of over 2 inches extended from central Texas, northeastward through eastern Oklahoma, southeastern Kansas, northwestern Arkansas, and much of Missouri and southern Illinois. The largest amount of 4 to locally 8 inches covered a band of the middle Red River, South Valley into central Missouri. Further north, 2 to 4 inches. Also scaled much of the southeastern Nebraska, soaked much of the northeastern Nebraska, eastern Iowa, and the central through western Wisconsin. More widely scattered amounts of 2 to 4 inches affected southeastern Texas, northern Louisiana, northern half of Alabama. Existing dryness and drought improved in most areas affected by the heavy precipitation. In addition to portions of the Central Rockies, where less robust precipitation compounded frequently above normal totals during the past several weeks. Meanwhile, we have subnormal amounts of propelled intensity, drought, and dryness along parts of the East Coast, which I said here, it's still going on. Scattered portions of the southeast, east central, and southern Texas, and parts of the central and northern plains. in both the northern and southern tier of the Rockies and adjacent lower elevations. In many areas that observe worsening conditions, usually warm weather, temperatures generally 3 to 6 degrees above normal, have prevailed over the past 4 weeks, particularly across the southern half of the Great Plains, southeast, and northern and middle Atlantic states. All right. So, again, please conserve water. Try to do whatever you can because it looks like, according to the forecast, it's not going to get much better. Okay, that's it for now. That is the long-range weather forecast discussion for April 27th to May 11th. Thanks for coming to Jim Munley's World of Weather, and have a good day.